couldn't find any questions ahead of time, but you know what, Nicole? I did get a question by email, and I'm getting that question now. This question is from Kim, and she asked, what's the fastest way to earn money from tax liens? Is it when the redemption period is close to expiring? How to find them, and what states offer the highest interest rates? Okay, so what Kim was asking about is when is the best time to buy a tax lien? Is it when it is almost expired? So, in other words, she's talking about secondary liens. You know, a lot of people want to know about over the counter liens, buying direct from the county. That is not a strategy I do. It's a very time consuming strategy that works for some experienced people, but I don't do it because it takes a lot of time. Most of what is left over is junk. Yes, tax sales are very competitive. That's why some of these gurus are telling you don't bid at the sale, just get what's left over. There used to be a lot left over. But since over the last 20 years, tax sales have gotten so competitive that there's not as much left over as there used to be. And most of what is left over is junk. Hey, when there are thousands of bids on one property at a tax sale, do you think that anything that's left over is going to be any good? No, it's generally not. However, secondary tax liens are good. Now, secondary tax liens are when you buy a lien from another investor who bought them at the sale. So you can buy liens that are close to their expiration period. As a matter of fact, I'm selling one now that is over the expiration period and can be foreclosed on now. And I just sold one last year while it was going through foreclosure. And I've bought liens that were ready to foreclose. I like to buy them, yes, before they hit that end of the redemption period when they're almost ready to foreclose, because I like to get, in case, see, here's what happens. Sometimes when you go to foreclose, they redeem. And if that happens and you already pay somebody else the redemption value, then you're not going to make any money. So I like to buy a lien not when it's ready to foreclose, but maybe a year after somebody else bought it. So if it's a 2-year redemption period, I'll buy it maybe a year after it was purchased, when there's still another year to go, so that I could still pay subsequent taxes and get the return on that while I'm waiting to actually foreclose on the lien. So when I go to foreclose, if it gets redeemed, I'm still going to make money. All right. So then the rest of her question, let me go back and look at her question again. And okay, so it is when the redemption is close to expiring. Yeah, not too close to expiring, Kim, and how to find them. That's a really good question. So how do you find liens that are for sale by other investors? Well, we do have a private group, the Investing for Success group, that anybody can join, and people can post liens that they have for sale there. There are platforms that where people can list their liens for sale, but those platforms are mostly for institutional buyers that have portfolios for sale, not just individual tax liens. So there's not too many places where you can go for that. When people come to me with liens for sale, I usually let my coaching clients know first before anybody else. But then I would post them in the Investing for Success group. All right, so the Investing for Success group is free to join. You just go to facebook.com/groups/Investing for Success. And Nicole has put that link in there for you. And we do, forgot to silence my phone here. And we do we do lives inside the Success group. As a matter of fact, I used to do the tax lien investing tips here on the business page. But during this month, we're doing them inside the Investing for Success group. And it's free to join the group, but you do have to answer some questions before we let you in. So, all right, you guys say hello. Let me know who's here. I see we got some likes on here already, and we've got a few people watching. So where are you watching from? Let me know, okay? We also have the rest of Kim's question, and let me go grab that again. What states offer the highest interest rates? Well, here's the thing, Kim. The states that offer the highest interest rates aren't always the states where you get the highest interest rates, because the ones that offer the highest interest rates, those rates are bid down, all right? It used to be, Illinois used to be the highest. It was 18% every 6 months, which was 36% a year. But you know what? This year, they just reduced that to 9% every 6 months, so that it's only 18% a year. Half as much as what it was before. Now, let's see. Iowa has 24%, but in Iowa, they bid down the percent ownership of the property. So not the best place to invest, okay? It doesn't do you any good to own a percent, even if it's 99% of the property. You still have to get the other owner to sign off before you do anything with it. So not the best thing to do. But some of the counties in Iowa might do like a random selection process, which is better than bidding down the percent ownership. So, and in states and other states like New Jersey, Florida, the interest rate, the statutory rate is 18%, but that gets bid down at the tax sale. So, the ones that I like the best are the ones that don't get bid down at the sale. Instead, they bid up the price of the lien. They bid up the premium. And you get interest on all the premium that you bid. All the redeemable deed states do that, okay? So those are some of my favorites. And the other one that I like are the Indiana commissioner sales. I also like New Jersey, where the interest rate gets bid down, but that's because you get to pay the subsequent taxes and you get the maximum rate on your subsequent taxes, and you get to pay the subsequent taxes right away. You don't have to wait until the redemption period is over like you do in Florida. All right. So that was a long answer to a lot of questions by one person that sent them to me by email. But you guys that are on here, we do have quite a few. So let me know, what are your questions? What can I help you with? What is your biggest block, your biggest challenge to investing in tax liens? So we have Michael from Kansas. Kansas is a deed state. And Melanie, who wants to know about Mississippi and Tennessee. Yes, Mississippi is a lien state. They pay premium for liens. Their liens happen once a year in August. And Tennessee is a redeemable deed state. Some of those sales are going on now. Some of them are online. There are a handful of counties in Tennessee that went online. Actually, Shelby County, Tennessee was the first redeemable deed sale to be online. And so they can happen throughout the year, but there's some of those sales that might be going on now. As a matter of fact, I know that there's one on the GovEase platform because I just got a notice about that. So, and then Mississippi also has some of their tax lien sales online, but again, Mississippi doesn't happen until August. Okay, the Tennessee sales can happen throughout the year. The different counties can have them when they want. It's just that Mississippi, they all do them like at the same time of year. All right, and a lot of them did go online in 2020, but a lot of the ones that went online went back offline when the pandemic was over. All right. So who else do we have on? Where are you coming in from? And what can I help you with? What questions do you have for me today? All right, what questions? I'm going to take a sip of water while you type in your questions in the comments. And don't forget to let me know what state you're in so that I can give you the correct answer. All right. Okay, we've got more people coming on now. So just say hello when you come on and give me your question. What is your question about investing in tax liens or tax deeds? And since you missed the beginning of this, you're going to want to watch the recording. It's going to be available as soon as we're done here on the Facebook page. Watch the recording because I had a couple of announcements about the 2023 Wealth Building Conference and what's going on, what's coming up. Also, today we published the interview with Lance Edwards, who is a multifamily investing mentor. He wrote the book, How to Get Big Money from Small Apartments. And he's giving that book away as his freebie. So if you missed it, if you weren't registered for the 2023 Wealth Building Conference, register now because that is available for 24 hours. Although if you didn't register by 9 o'clock this morning, you won't get it. However, when we're done with publishing all the interviews, we're going to have 2 days, 48 hours where you can review any of the ones that you missed. Okay. Plus, if you get a VIP ticket, you're going to have unlimited access to all of them. All right, and then we have a couple of really good ones for you coming up the rest of the week, including mine. Mine's coming out on Friday, but we've got Tony Stern from Property Onion coming out on Thursday. He is an expert in foreclosure properties and tax deed properties in Florida, and in providing data for those properties. So he's going to talk to you all about that on Thursday. And then tomorrow, we have Stephen Pasavento, which is he is a manager at Von Finch. And he will talk to you all about Von Finch, and he is the host of the Investor Mindset podcast. And that Investor Mindset podcast is a way where you can hang around wealthy people and learn what they do. And what he does with Von Finch is it makes available passive investments for investors that are accredited investors and have money to invest and are looking for a way to invest their money. And this is a way, the podcast, the Investor Mindset podcast, is a way that you can hang around those investors. And he had a really great freebie for everybody too. So his interview is coming out tomorrow. And then I've got some more great ones lined up for you. Even after mine. So I'm not going to tell you about them yet. They're kind of a surprise. So, but I didn't get any more questions from you guys. So let me know, what are your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds? Okay, because I'm here to answer your questions. I already talked about, for you guys that came late, already talked about Mississippi and Tennessee. And we just mentioned Kansas, that Kansas is a deed state. I'm not sure when their tax sales happen in Kansas. I'm not sure if there is like a certain time of year that they happen or whether they happen all throughout the year. So, but if you're in Kansas and you're close to Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, right? Then Missouri is a tax lien state, and they also have all their tax sales in August. I believe it's the fourth Monday in August or the last Monday in August. Oh yeah, thank you, Michael. Michael says Kansas is throughout the year. Yeah, and I don't really notice Kansas because I don't think they have a whole bunch available. You know, some of the bigger counties might, but I think a lot of the counties in Kansas don't have a whole bunch available at their sales. But again, if you're in Kansas City and you're close to Missouri, Missouri has tax sales once a year. But here's the thing about Missouri, you have to be a resident of the county. Well, you have to be a resident of the state in order to bid at their tax lien sales. You have to be a resident of Missouri, but if you're not a resident of Missouri, you can get an agent to invest for you, but they have to be a resident of the county. Okay. And yeah, Michael, that's right. You have to be a resident in Missouri to bid. You can get somebody to bid for you that's a resident, but they have to be a resident of the county in order to bid. And I believe they have to bid in their name and assign the lien to you. I'm not sure how that works. Okay. All right, so do we have any questions? Any questions? I'm here to answer your questions about tax liens and tax deeds. Here to answer your questions. So I'm waiting, guys, waiting for your questions. What is your biggest block? What is the thing that's preventing you from investing right now? What is it that you would like to know? All right, I'm going to give you another minute. Okay, because I can't imagine all you guys would come on here. We've got a few people watching, and you don't have any questions for me. And we did. And for anybody that's coming on now, and if you want to know about buying secondary liens, and you know which states have the highest interest rates, those are a couple of questions that I answered early on in this session. So just watch the replay for the answers to those. Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? I'm going to give you guys 1 minute, and I'm going to take another sip of water. Any questions about the 2023 Wealth Building Conference that we're doing right now, the virtual conference that's going on now? It started last Monday, and it's going to be over Sunday. This coming Sunday, it will be the end of our 2023 Wealth Building Conference. And then you'll get a couple of days to review any interviews that you missed. Okay, because each day we had either 1 or 2 interviews come out. The first 4 days, we had 2 interviews a day, and then it was 1 interview a day. And some of the interviews this week are going to be longer. That's why there's only 1 interview a day. Yesterday's interview with Kirk Chisholm, that went for almost an hour because it was really important. So if you missed that one, you really want to sign up for the 2023 Wealth Building Conference and watch it when you get a chance to watch any of the ones that you missed. Because he talked about what's going on now in the economy, what's going to happen. He talked about the paradigm shift that's going to rock the markets and how you could take advantage of it. Okay. All right. So Melanie says, my biggest, I think she means my biggest challenge is going into unknown territory. I've done Indiana already, and I live in the Midwest, and to go down south is a little bit scary. I would just keep doing Indiana. The commissioner sales are coming up in March. I love the commissioner sales in Indiana, Melanie. I would do the commissioner sales in Indiana. And you say the South is a little bit scary. I would go to Texas, and I would go to the little counties in Texas. Stay away from the big cities, stay away from the big ones. Yeah, but Texas is, one of the questions I asked earlier were about the highest interest rates. Well, Texas is 25% per year in Texas. So I would go to Texas. And it's 6 months for non-homesteaded properties. Okay. All right, so any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah, but I do like the Indiana commissioner sales, and they have a 4-month redemption period. So that's even shorter than the non-homesteaded properties in Texas. Okay, any other questions? And thank you guys for showing me the love. Hey, if there's anybody else you know that could benefit from this, go ahead and share this with them, or share this on your Facebook page. Yeah, Melanie says, yes, I love Indiana too. Can't wait to move. Yeah, I gotta say, Indiana is one of my favorite tax lien investing states, especially the commissioner sales. Especially the commissioner sales. And if you're on the East Coast, check out Delaware. Now, Delaware only has 3 counties, and they each only have a sale. Well, one of them might have a sale more than once a year, but they have a real short redemption period. It's a 60-day redemption period. The shortest on record is Delaware. They are redeemable deeds, by the way. Okay, well, if we don't have any other questions, I am going to end this Facebook Live, this Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. I will be back next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and I will be in the Investing for Success Facebook group tomorrow morning and Thursday morning at 9:30 with some wealth building tips while we're doing this 2023 Wealth Building Conference. All right, guys. So I will see you. If you missed it, if you're coming on now and you missed it, just watch the replay. It'll be here. It'll be here on Facebook as soon as we're done. So I'll see you guys either in the Investing for Success group, or I'll see you back here next week. Bye.